He's got other things going on, so he won't be here tonight. Just be the three of us. We are the Sports Nerds. It is Sunday, December 12th. Happy holidays to all out there who celebrate. And joining me tonight, of course, are our usual cohorts, Mr. Ken Coslow and Elliot Big E Lamba. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
I'm good. Good.
Elliot, feeling good?
Man, I'm in pain. I fucked up my elbow.
You fucked up your elbow.
Yeah, I'm in fucking pain right now. I got a bee infestation in my backyard.
Okay.
A bee infestation. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I ordered me a suit and a mask and all that so I could go out there and start working on, how should I say, deterring them or just outright destroying them.
Well, bees are good for the environment, so I mean
they are. But you know what? Everybody says that, but they don't want to come and get them. They want to charge you $400, $500, $600 to do it,
right?
At minimum. You know what? The bees ain't worth that to me. You want bees? You want to save bees? Do the right thing and come get them yourself. If not, I'm just gonna get rid of them.
There's not any bee collectors in that area?
Well, yeah. The landlord's called a few of them, and they don't want. Let's move.
I mean, they make honey.
Well, I know this, but you know what? Like I said, if everybody's so freaking concerned, why don't they freaking come and get them instead of trying to charge me an arm and a fucking leg to take them?
I don't know why they would do that, because they usually come and just take them themselves.
No. They're not that diligent around here, I guess. But one positive thing, I'm going back to school.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
I'm taking a writing class and a couple of journalism classes.
Okay. Kim Martins is our Facebook user. She's asking, is it ground bees? Or do you not know?
They're honeybees.
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 They're the ones with the legs hanging. And
Are they damaging your backyard?
I can't use my freaking backyard, dude.
Huh?
And during the day, I have to go use. I have to take my dogs out front. I have to park my car out front. You know what I'm saying? I can't use the backyard during the day, and to me, that's just ain't right.
You got a hive back there? Is that what's going on?
It's underneath the house.
Oh, really?
In this room right here, which was an addition, and this happened here in this house 10 years ago. The landlord had to have the floor torn out. And he ain't trying to do that again.
No.
So I told him, you know what? If you don't want to do that, I'll just terminate them. That's all. I'll keep at it until they're all gone, and until the queen is dead. Maybe if I kill the queen, they'll all leave.
Yeah, if the queen dies, and they all usually leave. So.
Yep. And that's my goal, to kill the queen.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Be warned, though, they do protect her.
No, I know, but I got an entire suit, gloves, mask, the whole nine. There ain't no crevice on anywhere that they can get into to mess with me.
Okay.
I was out there earlier, freaking spraying them down with adhesive to freeze their wings. It's not funny, but it's funny. Yeah.
Yes.
It seems to me like a bunch of hypocrisy when people, save the bees. Well, okay, come and save them. If you're so worried about them, come get them.
That's the thing around here. People will come out to your place and pick them up and
they ain't, like I said, they ain't that far gone to do something like that here. I don't know what it is. There's a guy in St. Pete, I guess, but he won't come down here. And I told the landlord, well, doesn't he teach people how to be beekeepers? Maybe he can have one of the students. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
sure.
But I haven't heard shit. So, like I said, after a while, I just lose my patience and I handle it my own way. But anyway, I start school January the 10th. I have a writing class.
Hey, Brett.
And then I go. Then I have 3 journalism classes after that.
So you're gonna try and be a writer? Is that what you're gonna do?
I'm gonna try to legitimately put my thoughts and everything that I know about things on paper and then share it. Kind of like I might have a blog eventually, just like you. You know what I'm saying?
I never use it, hardly ever, but yeah, I know what you mean. I use the one on the blockchain, but my website is
the one thing that I'm really good at is writing, as far as getting my thoughts out.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you notice, I don't know if you ever noticed, but when you ask me a question about something, I don't give you a one-word answer.
No. You're awfully long-winded, Elliot.
I'll give you a dialogue. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and that's the way I write. That's the way I write. When I got people on Facebook doing fantasy and they're asking questions, well, who should I start? This guy or that guy? I will tell them what the stats, everything about each guy, and then let them make the decision, because the one thing you never want to do on these Facebook streams is go out there and pick a guy. Because then they'll come back at you like, you see, you were fucking wrong. Blah, blah, blah,
you got to give them choices. You got to give them the whole picture.
I'll give you all the information you need to make a what do they call that?
Educated decision.
An informed decision.
Informed decision.
Yeah. And if you screw that up, that's on you, not me. So yeah, I will put out a long answer. I'm just not that. I'm not a one word. I'm not a closed sentence kind of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Closed question. You know what I mean? So I figured if I could figure out how to do that and maybe monetize it somewhere.
Yeah, Kim's talking about the bees. She says,
I'm not gonna light nothing up because that's gonna burn my house down.
Yeah.
Whoever the Facebook user is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do any fire because it's right underneath.
Katie's not linked. Why isn't Katie linked? That's weird. Katie,
I don't know.
Link it up.
Is that Katie that's telling me to dump gas in the hole?
No. That's Kim
Martins.
Oh, Kim. Yeah, Kim. Only thing is that they're underneath the room, and there's like wood panels around the edge, around the outside edge. And if I put any gas there and light it, into the house, or at least into that back room.
I don't know why, Katie, but you're no longer linked. I don't know why, but you're no longer linked. Try to link it up again. Your chat name. Anyway, besides the bees issues we have going on, we had some football today.
Still do.
And it's still going on. The Bills are about to tie the Bucks.
They have.
Oh, thanks, Ken.
Spoiler alert. And the 49ers find more ways to give away games.
Oh, man. The Niners just they just friggin' they choked.
No, it's the lack of a quality quarterback. Jimmy G is not NFL material, period. He might have been at one point when he was subbing or whatever for Brady, but he's showing now. First of all, he gets happy feet when he's being rushed.
Yep.
So he's always throwing.
There you go.
He's always throwing off balance.
Hey, Katie.
And that winds up getting him intercepted, and he doesn't get rid of the ball fast enough. He's always getting sacked. You know what I'm saying? Oh, did they get the ball back and Cincinnati didn't do nothing with it?
Well, no, it's 23-20 in overtime, but that field goal.
Oh, that's right. So now the touchdown.
Now it's not sudden, and now it's sudden death. If the Niners can go down and score a touchdown, they'll win the game.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bills, for all intents and purposes, should have blown out the Bucks if they played the first half.
Well, they played good the second half, but
well, they're tied, so
yeah.
No worries. It's called
Katie.
glitches, and there's all kinds of them everywhere.
It's technology, Katie. It's always going to glitch from time to time.
That's why I'm considering moving the fantasy league next year to a different platform, because NFL.com, too many glitches going on, and that's why I left ESPN, dude, because they were a glitch factory. It seems like the bigger you get and the more you have, the more people you have on your app, the less effective your becomes, you know. And so that's my consideration for next season.
Yep.
OT, another OT. What a way to end the.
Yep, they're going to OT in Tampa.
2 OTs.
Kim, it worked.
Yes,
Yes,
it worked.
it worked.
Yay!
Yay! We can see you now, Kim.
Welcome, Kim.
Welcome, Kim, to the Sports Nerd Show. Woo! All right, let's dive into it. Pittsburgh gets beat by Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a tale of two halves, is what that was.
It was a tale of two halves. Minnesota pretty much had the game in hand at halftime, and then Pittsburgh came back in the second half.
And don't get me started on Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool is an idiot.
I missed that.
I love what Ryan Clark said about Chase Claypool the next day.
You know what? It pretty much seems that every receiver that the Pittsburgh Steelers draft is an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw what Ryan Clark said on Get Up the next morning, but he basically blasted Chase Claypool.
Oh no, yeah, he did.
I mean, and this is a Steeler icon going off on Chase Claypool. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, because he's only thinking about himself, basically.
Yeah. He was talking about how he was selfish, about me, basically saying that thing he did was doing my thing instead of the we thing. Cost the Steelers about 12 seconds of clock that could have, allowed for additional play at the end. He's been an issue ever since he was drafted. His ego is bigger than is writing checks his body can't cash.
Well, come on, think about it. AB, Juju, and now him.
Yes.
All three freaking clowns.
Yes. Agreed.
And the only one that was worth anything for a minute was Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
But now he's even a bigger clown than the rest of them.
Yep.
I don't know. Claypool, I can't say Claypool. I can't say Claypool cost them because Claypool didn't let Minnesota score 29 points in the first three quarters.
Right.
He didn't let them go down 29-0.
I mean, they were gashing that defense on the run game.
Oh my God, you could drive a truck through.
That one long run that
Dalvin Cook
ran. You could freaking drive a truck through that hole in the.
He had almost 10 yards, like 8-something yards per carry.
Yeah,
he did first half, 205 yards and 27 carries.
Yeah.
He ran for over 200
And also keep in mind, guys, this is a man who had a torn labrum or a separated shoulder the week before. 11 days later, the guy runs for over 200 yards against the Steelers. Separated his shoulder. Agreed, Katie. They can't resist that mouthy wide receiver.
No, they can't. It's not just wide receivers either. It's a lot of positions.
Yeah. That's all right. Pittsburgh is now last in the division. I'm extremely happy about that.
And Baltimore is in trouble.
Yes. Has either one of you heard about Lamar's injury? What's going on with it?
Let me look at my real-time source here. See if they've posted anything on it.
We'll say it did not look good.
No, it didn't.
No, that did not look good at all. Ravens officially questioned was returned. Nope, not yet. They said it was an ankle injury.
I think Harbaugh mentioned his presser that he's got a sprained ankle.
It depends. If it's a high sprain, he's gonna be out for a bit.
If it's a high ankle sprain, yes.
Because that's what Thielen got. 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
He's out.
Yep.
High ankle sprains is not good. How about George Kittle, man? That guy.
I mean, that catch he made in the fourth quarter to keep that drive going. Elliot, did you see that catch?
Mm-hmm. And then Gould misses the fucking field goal.
Yes, Gould missed the field goal to win the game. Yes.
Robbie.
He goes through all that trouble for Robbie to friggin' pull a Scott Norwood.
Yeah. Oh, good thing John's not here.
He'll watch the replay.
Yeah. You'll hear it later.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's a bad culture they're developing there in Pittsburgh.
Katie pulling out the references. They laces out.
Laces out.
Oh
Yeah,
geez.
they'll probably do MRIs and stuff on him tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But Cleveland almost blew that game to the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that, but I want to go ahead and go with Kenny here on his Cowboys after McCarthy guaranteed a win, a la Joe Namath.
And then they had to sweat it out at the end.
It almost came back to bite him, Ken.
Yes, it did. And there are times I just wish you would keep that flap closed. Actually, we pretty much tore them apart in the first half.
Yep.
And
Shut up.
like I said earlier, Washington's an enigma, and they just when you think you've got them down and dead, they come right back and catch fire.
Out at the 1.
Oh, you're killing me.
It's over at the. They're gonna run this one in. First and goal at the 1.
Anyway, Ken, go ahead.
Tampa backed up.
No, I'm just saying that they for some reason, I mean, Dak just got, I don't know, stupid in the fourth quarter and threw away 2 passes that one got picked and run back for touchdown. And then I don't understand what he's doing because I said it last week. He's trying to do too much, and it's hurting the team.
Well, you know why? I mean, you know why, right?
He's trying to.
They don't have a running game right now.
Well, they didn't today. I mean,
Ezekiel Elliott has not been running right all season, and Tony Pollard is out now with a torn.
Yeah, Tony was out today. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. I hope it's not real serious, but they definitely missed Tony today. The kid they had in there running today looked good in places, but he's not really consistent. Zeke looked pretty decent. He's still not the same Zeke he was 2 or 3 years ago, but that game got a little too close for comfort. But we managed to pull it out. We got a 3-game lead in the division now, so
I don't know if you'd agree with me, Ken, but he's not the same Zeke before he got that $90 million contract.
No, he's not. He's not the same Zeke. Yeah, that's a fact. And
and that's why he got the $90 million contract, because he was a different Zeke back then.
Yeah,
that was a touchdown, Elliott. They're going to call it a touchdown.
TD for Cincinnati.
Touchdown.
Yep. Niners win the game. Niners win the game. Yes.
And the curse continues. Sorry, Chris Collins.
You redeemed yourself for a second there, Mister.
Yes, it was, Katie.
Every team in the AFC North lost except for the Browns. The Browns gained a game on every team in the division. Yes.
Again, that's just two games in 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yes.
They gained a game on everybody last week and again today. So.
Well, they
maybe you're right.
They were on a bye last week, so yeah, they gained some ground last week too.
Yeah, that was right. They gained half a game last week.
The Ravens and the Bengals lost the Chargers. So the Browns gained ground on the teams that matter in the division 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Katie's already calling me out with boundless optimism. She called me out earlier today on in the group, and she's doing it now. Katie, I have no optimism. It's the Browns. They could lose the last 4 games of the season, and I wouldn't be surprised. So it's all good.
Well, I don't think they would have won that game if Lamar would have stuck around.
I don't know. They pretty much kept keeping Lamar in check the whole game.
They felt behind bad.
Miles Garrett had a great game. At least
Miles Garrett. I mean, I tell you what, Ken.
Hey, Brett could tell you.
Yeah.
Brett has him
Myles
on his
Garrett and who's your guy in Dallas, number 11? Micah. Is it Micah?
Parsons.
Micah
Parsons.
Those Rookie of the year. Defensive.
Micah may win. Micah will win Rookie of the Year. I think Garrett's going to win Defensive Player of the Year the way he's going.
It's going to be neck and neck because a lot of people are saying Parsons may win both. So
yeah, that's true too.
We'll see. You got Too bad
TJ Watt got hurt because that dude was balling.
Yeah, that strip sack fumble return for 6th.
Yep.
Oh,
welcome back, Randy Gregory.
Yes.
Yeah, though Heineke really hurt them.
Heineke got hurt in that game. He hurt his ankle.
Yeah, but he wasn't effective.
Well,
what's his name? Allen.
When you got 4 or 5 guys that want to tear you apart coming all around you.
So.
Yeah.
These guys are not fooling around.
DPI. Nice way to draw a DPI there, Mike Evans.
Before I forget, shout out on a sad note, Demaryius Thomas passed away the other day. Apparently it was due to a seizure.
He had a seizure while he was in the shower.
While he was in the shower.
And he was home alone.
Elliot, you and I both know that man was a fantasy monster in his prime.
Oh man, he had that one time 19 catches for Denver in that one game. I mean, I think he scored like 50-something fantasy points that day.
Yeah.
He was a beast when he was with Denver. And who's ever going to forget the one big thing, the claim to fame of Tim Tebow throwing a game-winning touchdown pass. Because you know what? He threw that 10 yards and Demaryius Thomas took it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean that's the one catch that Thomas will be remembered for. But I mean,
he made Tim Tebow famous with that catch.
Correct.
He made Troy Polamalu.
Oh, look at Gronk go! Yikes!
Looked like he had rocks in his shoes.
But DT was more than just a football player. He did a lot of things off the field too for the community, and it was a nice gesture of the Broncos today because they start with the very first play of the game. They lined up 10 men on the field, and took a delay of game in honor of DT. And then Detroit declined the penalty, so it was very classy on both sides. They set up a makeshift shrine outside of Mile High Stadium, and Peyton Manning even stopped by with his kid to pay homage to him, pay respects. Oh, there's the game. Ball game. Walk off touchdown.
Hey, John won't be here now for sure.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that's game setting match right there. Thomas was from the Tampa area, wasn't he?
I don't remember. I think so, but I'm not
sure.
He
went to Central Florida.
Yeah, he's from the Florida
area. He went to Central Florida, yeah. But
well, his house, he was in Florida when he died.
Yeah, I think he was in Orlando. Yeah. I think in Orlando area. I think. And he only retired back in August. He officially retired from the NFL in August.
Well, that's because he was dealing with seizures for the last 2 years, so he couldn't play anymore.
Yes.
It's kind of rough, man, when something like that happens.
He was only 33. He was only 33 years old.
It makes me kind of wonder if CTE had anything to do with that. Never know, but
I think his seizures actually predated his football years. I think.
Was it? Okay.
I think so.
Was that Perryman that scored that touchdown?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, me too, Katie. I'd want to know what his autopsy says too, as well. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, shout out to him. He was his best years were in Denver with Peyton Manning.
I think he was the best receiver Denver ever had.
Yeah. And again, he was a fantasy monster when he was in Denver. I mean, I remember a few years in a row I had DT on my team, and he was just.
I did too. I'm pretty sure I did.
He was a lock in fantasy. You just couldn't go wrong with Thomas.
He was amazing.
Poor little Joshy. He's got his head down, walking off the field.
Two losses in a row. The Bills are in trouble now.
Bills are in trouble.
Deep trouble.
Yes.
Standing 8 count.
Because I tell you what, because what the expectations was of the Bills coming into this season,
they were supposed to run away with the division.
To hear John tell it,
yeah.
I mean, you knew that it was possible that all that could have gone up in smoke when they lost the opening game at home to Pittsburgh.
Well, and I'm the same way with the Browns. I had all that optimism going into the season with the Browns too. So, but,
Yeah, but the Bills looked like they were prime.
Yeah, the Bills looked like they were ready after going to the AFC Championship last year. They looked like they were primed to be the team to beat in the AFC, and that just didn't come about.
Here's the problem with Buffalo, and it's a problem with a lot of teams that can't go the
running game.
There's no running game. There's no run game to distract enough to open up your passing game more.
Right.
Yeah, they don't have a number one running back. They really don't have a dominating running back at all.
They got 3 complementary backs.
Correct.
Breida, Singletary, and Moss.
Yes.
Those guys are 3 complementary backs. They are not they're not RB1s. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
They never have been. Breida was a backup in San Francisco. Singletary's never lived up to the hype that came along with his drafting,
right?
And Moss has not either. And
no, they need
in the end, see, here's what happened last year. Last year, Allen was doing things that nobody could stop.
Well, and again, Josh Allen was the leading runner today for his team. He was the leading rusher for the Bills today.
So they're doing now things differently because they know there's no run game to worry about. The defenses are starting to figure that out. And they're finding ways to contain Allen in a way that he has to be rushed a lot of times to pass as well. I mean, you don't have to play 8 in the box when you got no running game. So it allows them to linger in the second.
Yeah, Josh Allen ran for 109 yards today, and then his second leading rusher was Singletary with 52 yards. So when Josh Allen is your running game, you got a problem.
Well, yeah. You got a serious problem because he's not supposed to be doing that primarily. And the thing is that, they don't really have a running game to speak of.
Right.
They need to go out there and get it back, dude.
Well, John will be the first one to agree with you, Elliot. Believe it or not, he'd be the first one to agree with you.
Oh, absolutely. He knows. John has football IQ. I give him that. Okay. And I know that he would agree. And begrudgingly at times he would, I'm sure. But the thing is that what have they done to address that? It's kind of like the same.
But it also goes back to the fact that, as John has mentioned, also the offensive line is an issue as well because they can't open holes for the running game.
Well, they seem to be opening holes for Josh Allen.
That's because Josh Allen's running for his freaking life. That's
running for his life.
That's fine. But like I said, even when they had a decent front line, these guys haven't done shit.
They haven't had a decent. I mean, I don't know how long it's been since Buffalo.
You know how bad it is. Moss has been a healthy scratch the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's how bad that they don't have a running game.
Yeah,
they can scratch one of their healthy backs.
Yeah.
So they need to go out and get a damn running back. Is what they need to do. They need to find somebody that can fill that hole because until they do that, they're not going to be the complete team that everybody thought they were. How can you be a complete – like I said, Dallas will run into trouble later if they can't get their running game in order. You can't expect much from Emmett.
We'll have our running game in order.
Yeah, with Tony Pollard, yes. But if you have to rely on Emmett –
Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke,
excuse me. If you have to rely on Ezekiel, there's something wrong.
If they improve their offensive line play, I wonder if Buffalo would consider a trade for Zeke.
Yeah, but Zeke is damaged goods right now.
Zeke is very damaged goods.
That's true.
He's got a knee issue. That's what's hurting him. He's got a bum knee. He has no explosive.
He said in the middle of this week, he said they'll have to drag him off the field because he's.
Have you noticed that he doesn't have that explosion that he used to have?
He doesn't. He doesn't have that push off and
that's why Pollard is looking like a better back than he is.
Yes. Pollard had more speed anyway, and Zeke's had more power, but Zeke's more a finesse back, and Pollard looks like Tony Dorsett sometimes. If you give him 6 inches and don't make a move for him, he's gone.
Well, he's elusive, and that's something
he
that
is elusive.
Is not anymore. Elusive. Zeke is no longer elusive.
Well, I said it last week too, Ken, that he's the better of the two backs right now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, he's the better of the two backs.
Which is why I think, you know what? I don't know who would be willing to take on Zeke's contract with his bum knee.
That's true.
That's the thing.
See,
that's why you don't give somebody $90 million for 6 years.
Well, that's where Jerry has more money than he does common sense.
Oh yeah, and you can't buy common sense, so
you can't buy common sense. It's just
But here's the thing: he got suckered into that $90 million contract when Zeke went to Mexico and said, "I ain't coming back."
He got suckered into that one. He got suckered into Dak's contract too.
Exactly.
And Dak hasn't lived up to that contract either.
Yeah.
They guilted. They guilted him. They guilted him into signing those contracts.
Yeah.
And he fell for it. That's what makes him. That's what makes him a pathetic GM. Yeah.
He is a sucker.
He's a total sucker.
All-day sucker.
He got played hard with those contracts.
He does.
How much money does he have tied up in those contracts?
I think more than his boat is worth. I think
$200 million between them.
I think it's worth more than his boat.
You might be. Yeah. You might have to sell that damn boat.
Yeah, you're right, Katie. You don't in this NFL. You don't give a 6-year contract to any running back. Now, I don't care how much.
Any running back you draft is good for 3, 4, maybe 5 years, and that's it.
They are the epitome of what the NFL stands for. Not for long when it comes to running backs.
Correct.
I mean, look at Derrick Henry now.
We've seen half of his 6 years. So.
Well, Derrick Henry actually, that came out today that Derrick Henry may be ready as soon as.
But that's fine. But how is he going to be afterwards? Because you got to look at it this way. A lot of these backs. Look at Christian McCaffrey, Mr. All-Star, All-World, and once he got injured once, now he's
chronically injured at this point.
Injured all the time, and that's what happens when you're getting hit all the time. I don't care how big or small you are.
Yeah.
When you're getting constantly pounded all the time and you start to get injuries, they start to pile up.
Yeah. And I can compare that to the Browns running game. These guys they get the 1-2 punch of Nick Chubb.
And then Hunt got hurt again.
And Hunt got hurt again today, yes. You got Nick Chubb and Hunt. Those guys are only going to be good for the Browns for 2 or 3 years. Then they're going to have to move on. That window is very short with your running game.
If that, because now Kareem Hunt has a constant injury problem with his legs.
Yep.
And when you have leg problems as a running back, you're pretty much done. You're toast.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask Christian McCaffrey. Look, Dalvin Cook is a great back, but he's been injured a lot in his 4 or 5 seasons in the league.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He won't last much longer with all these injuries.
Nope.
Kamara. How about Alvin Kamara? He gets injured all the time now, too.
He had a good game today, too, but he had a great game today.
Great game today.
Which is why I say beware 2 or 3 years from now that Jonathan Taylor doesn't wind up in the same boat.
Yeah.
It's quite possible.
Yep.
That's the trend in the NFL.
It is.
Boy, I want to shout out the Raiders for putting their foot in their mouth today after going into Kansas City, holding their pregame ritual meeting on the logo, and then Kansas City blowing them out of the building.
They went all out juju.
They did.
Went all out TO.
Yeah, they went out all juju TO.
Yes. So what do you think, guys? You think Kansas City's back and it's got its swagger back now?
Dude, it never ends well. It never ends well when you pull some shit like that on somebody else.
Right.
Just
ask John. You don't want to come up on camera, John?
He can't even spell right now. He can't even.
I know, right?
He's speaking in some kind of language.
He's speaking in tongues.
He sounds upset.
With all that
gibberish.
Oh, sorry, John. That was they had a great comeback in the fourth quarter, but
that's the thing though about falling behind is you put so much effort into coming back.
Yep.
Sometimes you fall short. A lot of times you fall short.
Yes.
Hey,
Bill. Hey, Clarky. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, Clark. What's up?
Hey, Clarky.
But yeah, just a horrible display by the Raiders today in Kansas City. Horrible.
Well, the Raiders are just horrible, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
Derek Carr is trash. Okay. They need to get rid of Derek Carr. They got a good running. They don't have any wide receivers, to be honest with you.
Well, the best wide receiver they have is actually in jail right now. So, it's.
Well, he wasn't even their best receiver. Darren Waller is their best receiver, and he's their tight end.
Yeah.
Right now, Hunter Renfrow is their best.
He had a good, you know what? Despite the loss, he had a good game today. He really did.
He had a great fantasy game today, but it only translated into 9 points.
Yep. Yep.
So
that's right. He's not the same without the facial expressions.
Did you guys see that meme I put up with Washington on the stairs and the Las Vegas sign, and they wrote over the last part LOSS?
No.
Yes. Saw that.
They had all the Washington players climbing the ladder, and they spray painted.
The way the Raiders are playing right now is making our loss to them on Thanksgiving even more embarrassing.
Well, they got the Browns next week in
Cleveland.
True. On Saturday. We'll see how that goes.
Fitzmagic came out and said as much.
Right.
He said, "Hey, my cup could even beat the Raiders."
Right.
Dude, that was a bullet by Brady to the touchdown of Evans in the first half.
Yep. All right, let me get into this.
Come on.
Glad the Browns won. Happy the Browns won. But once again, they went conservative in the second half and almost blew it. The defense came to play, and the defense played fantastic. I mean, Myles Garrett is a monster. And they stepped up and they were keeping Lamar in check. But then the second half came around and Stefanski went conservative on both sides of the ball. He didn't put his foot on the throat of the Ravens like he should have. Baker had a decent game. He did throw a pick, but he had 2 touchdown passes in the first half, which was the only time the Browns scored was in the first half because they didn't score in the second half. But the defense did their job today, and I'm pleased with that. I just wish Stefanski would open up that playbook, even they led at halftime 24-6 or something like that. Hang on.
Can somebody really quick address Brett's bright side there in second, 1 game out of first? I do believe they're 2 games behind New England now.
No, the Bills are 2 games behind now, I think, but they're still in second place.
Yeah, they're in second place because there's no other team in there. Well, Miami's been putting up some numbers lately, so I don't know. Miami's starting to catch up.
Yeah. 4 to 5 blatant PIs, and then they call RD getting bear hugged by Evans. Yeah, I mean, officiating has been bad all season, John. We've talked about it.
One thing by now, complaining about the officiating is hollow because it happens in a game.
Yes, because it's happening all across the board.
It's totally a hollow statement because it happens to everybody in every game. Hey, Jamal.
Hey, Jamal.
John, your complaint about the refs is relevant to all four of us because we all have complaints about the refs.
Yeah,
calls against our teams this year. So I mean, it's
there's
relevant,
30.
so it's not going to change.
There's 32 franchises out there and their fans that always complain about the refs.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
If Browns, they didn't play bad in the first half, they probably would have won that game.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns are only a game out of first place in the division, and what helps the Browns is the fact that the Niners beat the Bengals, the Steelers lost on Thursday night, and the Browns beat the Ravens. So the Browns gained ground again. Even they gained ground last week on the bye, and they gained ground again today with their win.
Hey, Jamal, the refs don't cheat. They're too stupid to do that.
Yeah, it's true. True story. True story.
They're not smart enough to cheat.
Yeah. I mean, hang on a second. Let me get into this.
Look, there's really just real quick. Right now in the AFC North, there's really no clear-cut team that can.
Nobody wants to win that division, Elliot. Nobody wants.
There's no team that shows they could come out of there and even get out of the first round.
Correct. I mean, Baker threw for 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. The running game was almost non-existent.
We were talking about that a little earlier there, Clark, about the lack of running by the. Wait a minute. Josh Allen ran the ball for the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, Josh Allen had 109 yards on the ground, so they ran it. So he was their top runner today.
And I think that might hurt them.
Line up Josh Allen in the Wildcat formation.
Yeah, I mean, John, we've talked about this on the show in the past. I mean, Bills need a running game, and they don't have one. They don't have a running game as far as a running back. Only their running game is Josh Allen, and it shouldn't be Josh Allen.
Like John also said, if your quarterback's your RB1, you got issues. You got a problem.
Exactly.
Why do they even have running backs? Because they have to actually.
That's actually part of the roster. They have to put one on the field. That's part of the.
That's the rules. Rosters require that you have running backs on them. So.
Yes,
the rules.
They might not be any good, but you
have to have four in the backfield.
My goodness. But like I said, man, that happens to any team that doesn't have a running game, a solid running game, or even a halfway solid running game.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't run at all, then I'm sorry. Well, yeah, exactly. Debo does that, and Ayuk can do that stuff too. Use the receivers. I ain't seen. You know what? I haven't seen them using Stephon Diggs that way like they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. No, Josh Allen deserves to have a backfield.
Yes.
He's got receivers. He's got talent. The defense might be a little, not where it should be because they lost White.
Yep.
The field general, basically.
Yep. Well, John posted on Twitter earlier today that Josh Allen is not the problem. Josh Allen is not the problem.
No, Josh Allen is far from the problem.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
But when 3 weeks ago you started getting excited because Matt Breida went off a little bit, that's a problem because Matt Breida is not an RB1 in this league. Never has been. So.
Oh, Carrie's on my TV. Hello, Carrie Underwood.
Here we go with the ref blames again. The ref bashing.
Well, again, John, the refs are an issue across the board. I mean,
I know you got to come up with something else, dude, because the ref thing happens everywhere to everyone.
Yeah, I agree with Elliot on that. The refs are a problem everywhere. I mean, Myles Garrett is getting held on almost every single freaking play, and they don't call it. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
And he's still got 15 sacks this year, so take that into consideration.
If they called every
single would be if they could catch him.
Yeah.
That there's a holding penalty on every single play.
Oh, sure there is.
Absolutely.
Some get away with it. You know what I'm saying? You got your crafty veterans that can get away with that stuff. But for the most part, I mean, look, how much laundry have we seen on football fields this year? A lot.
Oh, my God, a lot.
And the games, they're trying to shorten the games, but all these flags are just extending them.
Well, you know what? You know what's crap? You know what's crap? Is they instituted this taunting penalty and that's a bunch of crap. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it is.
The taunting rules are joke.
Total bullshit.
You can't even breathe on another opponent hard without getting called for freaking taunting.
Didn't they cost a game? Didn't you cost somebody a game by calling a taunting penalty when it was not really a taunting penalty?
Somewhere down the line, yeah.
These referees are just too freaking sensitive.
Yes,
and they take what they're given to a whole different level. I don't think the intent of the NFL is to call taunting penalties unless they're like the one that, what's his name did in the Super Bowl to Tyreek Hill. I think that's what inspired the whole thing.
Yeah, it did.
If you're in a guy's face, yeah, that's different. But if you're just like doing your thing and all of a sudden the referee thinks, oh, he accidentally bumped the referee, that's why they give him. Yeah.
Clarky's got a fantasy question. What do you think about it, Elliot?
All right. How many times does someone have to run the ball before he qualifies? Well, you have to ask yourself this. How many times, why is Taysom Hill considered a quarterback when he's actually a running back that throws the ball? He's an option back.
Look at how many times CeeDee Lamb has run the ball on that jet sweep.
That's the one thing. Look, and this is why I was telling you guys earlier, we're getting off that NFL platform. And a couple of guys in the league brought up that earlier in the season where other platforms, okay, so for instance, you can get a guy that plays both linebacker and defensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you should have the option of playing them, especially in IDP leagues, okay? You should have the option of playing. You know what I'm saying? And I just lost my train of thought.
Oh, Elliot lost his train of thought. Holy cow. What the hell? This never happens.
You get yardage and points for running the ball even if you're a receiver.
Come on now.
So, I mean,
what happened now? What'd you say?
What? I said you get points, yards and points for running the ball even if you are a receiver. So, I mean, anytime.
Right. So basically,
he's asking, can you start a receiver at
basically like last year? Okay, when Taysom Hill came in, they had him as a quarterback and a running back.
Uh-huh.
And some fantasy platforms listed him as both, but others like NFL didn't. One guy, I think it was Chris. Who's the guy? Chandler Jones from Arizona. Christian drafted him because he thought he was listed as a defensive lineman. But NFL.com calls him a defensive linebacker.
Right.
Well, and he's listed in a lot of the fantasy things as both. A lot of the fantasy sites that project shit. So you can't get how should I say, uniformity out of any of these commercial, because I consider ESPN, Yahoo, NFL, CBS. I consider those commercial fantasy platforms.
Well, see, when I played a few years ago, we had a position.
IDP.
Well, yeah, but you see, IDP is more for people that have the balls to play it. Those who are willing.
Utility.
Because remember, it's not factual football; it's fantasy football.
Yeah.
I like it. So let's get that out there first. In fantasy, that gives you the option, and like you chose not to play, that's fine. That's your option. But there are people out there that like the IDP thing. Why? Because it creates another challenge.
It's not for everyone, but
it's not for everyone. No,
the diehard fantasy people. I mean, hardcore, out of the box thinking. I'm not saying John's not that, but out of the box thinking people sometimes.
Well, people that.
You and your buddies, that's about it.
I don't think so. You'd be surprised how many IDP leagues there are out there. Only thing is right now they don't get to shine. Eventually, you know what? You might see it.
You might.
You just might.
My final thought on the Ravens-Browns game today is that they almost lost to the backup to Lamar Jackson. Tyler Huntley had a decent game. He threw for 270 yards and a touchdown. Didn't throw any picks. There was one play today that he juked the entire Browns defense out.
He did all kinds of different.
He ran like 30 yards for like a 5 or 6 yard gain or something like that.
And then he got called and then they called the guy for a late hit.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a huge win for the Browns because it helps them in the division. And Katie's going to go the ultimate optimism. I don't have any optimism right now. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns lose their last 4 games. They got Las Vegas next weekend. Then they got the Steelers. No, the Ravens. Then they play Green Bay on Christmas Day in Green Bay on Christmas Day. Then they got the Steelers on Monday night, and they finish with the Bengals. I can see them losing 3 out of 4 on those games. Because the Pittsburgh game is actually in Pittsburgh. I can see them losing that game. I don't want them to, but I can see it. Baker is still playing hurt. He showed that today. It was weird because he got blindsided today on a sack, and he got taken out of the game by the NFL, by the officials, not by the coaching staff. He was taken out of the game by the officials to have them check for concussion after that sack.
And they have
and you could tell on the sidelines he was pissed. But the NFL
game. Sorry, Baker.
The NFL's leaning towards safety, and I understand why they did it, but still, I mean, he was only out for like 2 or 3 plays, and he came back in.
That's okay. He could go make more progressive.
The defense recently has been playing a lot better than the offense has. The defense has been saving games for them. So
I think the defense is playing up to your expectations from before the season started.
I think they are too. They've really come out and played. I mean, the defense was phenomenal today. JOK is just lightening it up, and of course Myles Garrett's probably the best defensive end in football right now. No disrespect to Aaron Donald, but I think Myles Garrett's having a better season than Aaron Donald is right now.
One thing I was confused about, and I don't know who called the play, but what was it, 4th and 5 for Baltimore? You never call a slant play short of the first down marker.
No.
Okay, because you're not going to get there. So many people are honing in on.
Yeah, that was basically the last play for the Ravens at the end of the game. Yeah,
and Denzel
Ward blew that. I mean,
blew that play up.
The play previous to that, Clowney blew up Tyler Huntley in the back and sacked him big time for a 10-yard loss.
But they were in a position to get that first down.
Yep.
And like I said, you don't throw a slant just off the line of scrimmage. Go 5 yards, go to the first, and then slant over. Yeah,
Ward blew that 4th down up because he saw it coming a mile away.
Whoever called that damn play blew the
call.
Play.
Yeah.
Whoever made that call blew the play.
Yeah, Denzel Ward actually sealed the victory for the Browns with that stop. So I mean, the defense is playing up to what I hope they'd play. The offense, not so much. So we'll see what happens going forward. Again, they got the Raiders next week, and then they got a matchup against the Packers the week after.
They're at home against the Raiders?
Yes, they are.
That could be a blowout.
What's left of the Raiders?
Right.
Raiders didn't do too good up there last year.
No. That was a nasty, ugly game too last year in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, because the weather, it was all what was it? Windy, rainy, overcast, the whole
thing. Rainy, muddy.
What the game in, like 7-6 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. The Browns lost it, actually. John posted a link in the chat on a tweet by Tim Brando. The tweet says, I have to say this, and it pisses me off. The NFL, so be it. College football is far better from crew to crew on pass interference than the big leagues. Buffalo Bills had 2 obvious pass interference on Tampa Bay that went uncalled. Then Brady gets a big-time PI to set up the touchdown. They got to get this fixed. That was Brando's take.
Okay.
So even Tim Brando is calling out the ref.
And that's one man's opinion. And again, we can talk shit about the officiating until the cows come home, and it's not changing. It's only getting worse.
Right.
We've been complaining about officiating how long now?
As long as this show's been alive, about 10 years.
I've been complaining
And
before
they're
this.
not doing. If they haven't done anything in 10 years, do you really think they're going to do something?
No.
I mean, they put in replay. That's about as far as they want to go. Because you know what? There are times where they blow the replays too.
Right. And the NFL's not going to do anything about it because they don't want to. They feel like, they're on the other side of the officials. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, dude. And the bottom line is, I think they said in the beginning the refs were being, how should I say, resistant because of the instant replay.
Yeah.
Because it kind of calls them out for being an idiot, for making the wrong call. But the thing is that everybody wants to get it right, and that there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to get the officials to get it right too.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something blatant and obvious. Plain and simple. Yeah, it does. Just like controversy. Hey, Katie, just like controversy creates cash.
Yes. That is correct.
That's what it all comes down to. So
anyway, I'm glad the Browns won. It was ugly. It was an ugly win. They let the Ravens back in the game after taking a big lead, and they gave up 13 points in the fourth quarter alone. For goodness' sake, they were up 24-6 at halftime. They should have just put the pedal to the metal and started being more aggressive, but they didn't do it. And I blame the coaches for that.
Let me be clear about something when it comes to officiating. It's not bad officiating. It's not exclusive to the NFL.
No, it's not.
Because basketball has awful officiating. Do you know how many times when Shaq was playing, he got fouled and didn't get calls? Didn't somebody get fouled the other day? Oh, it was Julius Randle, and I guess the referee told him, "You're big guy. You can take that."
Mm.
Dude, if you foul somebody, it should be a foul. It don't matter what size he is.
Right. Oh, the same thing in baseball. Umpires have been getting hit for years about their ball.
How about that one where the umpire basically blew this guy's perfect game?
Yep.
When it was obvious the guy made it to first base, or didn't make it on time.
Yep.
I mean, and then they looked at the replay and still said he was safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that just goes to show you there's some kind of a collusion going on there with the league and the refs, because you don't see. Why don't they have some kind of a system to grade referees, and if they're crap, get rid of them? Keep your referees because they earn the right to be there.
Yes, make them. You know what? And I'm a big proponent of full-time referees in the NFL. If they're full-time, they can focus 100% on their job.
Well, full-time,
and in turn get better at their job. So I'm going to address what Brett says. Brett, the Cowboys did not actually bring their own benches from Dallas to D.C. They rented benches from a company in Ohio. The company actually put the logos on the benches, but it was not at the request of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's not like they took them off It's not like they took them off the field at AT&T Stadium and put them on a cargo plane and sent them.
Correct.
They were locked up at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, they rented those benches from a company in Ohio after officials with Dallas spoke to representatives from a different team that had played in DC prior to Dallas today, that said that the FedEx benches were pieces of crap, and they would turn off on them and they would not work. So Dallas took the initiative and they contacted this company in Ohio. The company took it upon themselves to put the star on those benches without not at the request of the Cowboys. But it's a major troll job, especially with what McCarthy said leading up to the game, and it was just made for good trash talking before the game.
It made
Katie, just like everything else in FedEx Stadium. You are correct. Yes,
it made for good fodder.
Correct. It wasn't the Cowboys doing to have benches brought down with their logo and star and name on it. It was the company that built that.
Jerry Jones does a lot of great things except know how to run a football team.
Correct. And you'll get no argument from Ken on that one at all.
Because you know what?
Cannot disagree with
that. It wasn't. I mean, it was his money that put the Dallas team together in the 90s. But if he didn't have Jimmy Johnson,
Dallas wouldn't have 3 Super Bowls if it wasn't for Jimmy Johnson.
Because Switzer took over Jimmy Johnson's team. That was already a Super Bowl team.
Switzer was an idiot.
Okay,
Switzer was an idiot at OU. He's still an idiot. If he had not fired Jimmy Johnson, we would have the biggest dynasty in NFL history.
Mm-hmm. You probably would have won about 4 or 5 Super Bowls in a row.
At least 4 or 5 more.
But that's just Jerry's ego. Why? Because Jimmy Johnson ain't putting up with Jerry Jones's bullshit. He ain't kissing the ring. You know what I'm saying?
His ego is the size of that stadium.
So he brought Barry Switzer in, who was more than happy to kiss not just his ring, but his ass as well.
I hated the time we were Switzerland. I never liked Switzerland. I never liked Switzer when he was at OU.
A mantelpiece, basically.
Don't like him now.
He was just in there to walk the sidelines.
He was a figurehead.
The triplets ran that offense for the last couple of years, and it had nothing to do with Barry Switzer. So it's all right.
Sorry, eh? He's going Canadian on us.
What else? So San Francisco squeezes past Cincinnati in overtime. I mean, with a touchdown in overtime.
I tell you what, that saved our season.
Yep.
For the time being, but
yep.
I'm still not.
You're a Jimmy Garoppolo hater, Elliot, is what you are.
No, I'm not a Jimmy Garoppolo hater, but I am a hater right now of Lynch and Shanahan. Because they're kind of acting like Boone and Cashman over in the Yankee organization.
Really?
They're fucking idiots that need to go because they're making just bad decisions all the way along. Okay? You got Jimmy G. You got Jimmy G, who's already been said that's going to be traded regardless, no matter what. He'll be traded when the season is over. Okay? Good riddance, Jimmy G. Good riddance to you, man.
Because Trey Lance is the guy next year.
I just don't see Trey Lance coming in and doing anything better.
Yep.
So they're starting to run the organization like other organizations that just don't get it. I mean, look at all the action that a lot of teams took right before the baseball strike, the lockout.
Excuse me.
Do you think the Yankees were in there? Hell no. They were freaking signing minor league players that ain't gonna see the field for another decade. You know, and that's for a lot of teams. That's for a lot of teams. Oh, by the way, I just want to say congratulations to the New York Islanders for finally winning a game in the UBS Arena. It only took them 8 tries to get it done. Well, what's funny is I was watching an AEW wrestling this weekend, and the events were in the UBS Arena, and the wrestlers would come out, and the bad guys or the heels, they would come out and talk about the New York Islanders not winning in this building, and they were clowning the Islanders, man. The fans actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, congratulations, Islanders. You finally won a game at home. Hopefully this is the start of something good. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that one either. Kudos to the Rangers.
That'd be the Arizona Coyotes, Brett, as far as who got locked out of their stadium, actually. But
they're actually the Phoenix Coyotes. They're actually the Phoenix Coyotes.
The Coyotes are still playing in Arizona, so they're okay now.
Well, you know what I can't understand? Doesn't the NFL own the Phoenix?
NHL, I think the NHL owns the Phoenix Coyotes.
Phoenix Coyotes, right?
Coyotes,
yeah. So how the hell does the NHL not pay the bills?
They're not responsible for that.
Well, they should be if they own the team.
The NHL owns the team, but they don't own the stadium. Somebody else owns the stadium.
Send them to a city that deserves a hockey team, and stop trying to make. I'm sorry, man, but when they brought hockey to a desert, I was confused.
It's working.
And it's still confusing. How many people in the desert want to go to a hockey game? I mean, really, seriously. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It's not the greatest place. When I moved to Arizona, they didn't even know what hockey was. With them, the biggest thing in hockey was the Ice Cats, the college team, and they sucked. You know what I'm saying? So there's just certain things that don't hit right in certain areas, and that's one of them. And they should just get rid of. I mean, sell the team, move it to a city where the fans are going to go crazy about them. Any suggestions out there where they should go? They can't go to Seattle. They already got a team. Vegas has a team. What city doesn't have a hockey team right now that should have one?
Quebec.
Bring back the Nordiques.
The Nordiques. Pixie Power Gaming is in the house. What's up, Jen? Good to see you, darling.
Quebec City. There you go, John. Exactly. Bring back the Quebec Nordiques and make the Phoenix Coyotes a forgettable memory. Because that's what they are. Hartford is another good place. Connecticut. The Whalers. Wasn't that the Whalers?
Yep.
So, shit, right now, even the Cleveland Barons would be a better.
There you go. There you go. Bring back hockey to Cleveland. Yes.
Kansas City Scouts.
John is kind of licking his Buffalo Bill wounds right now. Who's that? Carlos Gonzalez's team is ass. Can't you? Who's that?
I don't know who that is. Maybe Kim.
Oh, that must be. You know who that is? That's Andrew Gonzalez. That's his son.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, the thing is that you probably realize that for the first 3 weeks in our league, Carlos was talking all kinds of smack when he won the first 3 games. Right now, he's going to finish the season 3-8.
Oh, it's Drew.
Out of the playoffs.
It's Drew.
Yeah. And Andrew's going to get in because his dad lost.
Well, right now,
congratulations, Jamal. It looks like you're going to be
just for the record. I am beating Nosy in fantasy football right now, and it looks like I might beat him this weekend. So he's also in danger of missing the playoffs thanks to me. So I'm just
actually, he's already in. He's already clinched.
He's the fourth. Is he the 4th seed?
Yeah, but he has a 7-7 record.
Yeah.
And nobody else is. I mean, the 6th person is going to have a 6-8 record.
Okay.
Yeah, he already had clinched last week.
Okay.
I put up that thing, telling everybody where everybody was at. Now, here's the thing: I'm not sure how the tiebreakers work in a 3-way tie, but if you win, that puts you in a 3-way tie with Chris and Carl and Andrew and Carlos. You'll all be 6-8. So chances are, I think Andrew's going to make it because he's got the higher score. When you got a 4-way tie, they don't go by head-to-head. They go by who scored the most points. And Andrew has the most points out of all 4. So, but hey, it was a good run. I mean, you almost got in there, dude. Me, I was out like 6 weeks ago.
I just want to say,
you know what? I think a lot of my problem was this year is that, and you can ask anybody that's played with me before, Jamal, Brett, usually I start getting the fantasy stuff together for next season like months in advance.
Yeah.
And this year I waited till like a month before the season started. So I was hurrying to get everything together. I wasn't studying players and, I didn't know what the hell was really going on. So I just, it showed because a lot of fantasy teams I played this season just didn't do well. And I'm sure injuries and COVID and all that bullshit had a lot to do with it too, because that ruined a lot of people's fantasy hopes, But I ain't gonna make no excuses. I had a bad season. I made bad choices, and unfortunately, now here's the thing: I already made a new logo for next season. We ain't even done with this season. I'm already for next season.
Is it one with a mask?
No, there's a football. I'll break it out one of these times.
All right.
Let's tweak it a little bit, but yeah. So this year, I'm as a matter of fact, one of the guys that played with us before, JB Jonathan Barnes. We lost him this year because I never got a hold of him. He goes, well, dude, I joined a different league because I didn't think you were in a play since you usually call me in March and tell me it's time to get ready for fantasy football.
John, they're not going to start Mitchell Trubisky next week for Buffalo. Stop doing that. It's not going to happen.
No, they're not.
They're not going to start him next year.
Not unless they're writing their season off right now.
Right.
If they say, well, this loss to Tampa was so devastating, we're just going to pack it in.
It's not going to happen.
Well, if they start Mitch Trubisky next week, that's a tap out.
Well, it's also because Josh will be hurt.
Out.
He did get hurt in the game.
I saw he was limping on the sideline.
Okay.
But if you're down to Mitch Trubisky, you're in deep shit.
As John calls him, the second best quarterback in the AFC East.
Mitch Trubisky is not going to bail you guys out of that porous running game you have. He ain't Josh Allen on the ground. Let's put it that way.
He's not.
No, he's not.
Or the air, for that matter.
Not in the air either.
I'm just saying. He might be able to accomplish a little bit in the air, but he ain't gonna make up for that lack of running game the way Josh Allen has to. Because it's not that Josh Allen wants to be the one that covers up for the running game. He just has to because he has no talent behind it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, the talent lies in that receiving core. Not the running
game.
We'll
see how he feels tomorrow, Clarky.
Yep.
Those are the kind of things that could come back and haunt you later. Yeah, I saw him limping. Towards the end of the game when they were leaving after the touchdown, you could see he had a bit of a limp going on. But knowing Josh Allen, he's like, take me up. I'll be right back on that field.
Yep.
He's not the kind of guy that's going to want to sit. Let's put it that way. And you should know that, John. Come on now.
So about the drama in Jacksonville going on right now.
Urban Meyer's an idiot.
Yes. Rumor has it that he went to each one of his coaches during some meeting and had them actually try to justify their resume.
Mm-hmm. And he had a blowout with Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
He's got his quarterback saying, why aren't you playing James Robinson?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, poor guy, will never have a chance in the NFL as long as he plays not just for Jacksonville, but under Urban Meyer.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
He's about to have a mutiny.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? He will be fired. I don't give a shit what they're saying. Okay? Because the quickest way to get people to avoid to try going to Jacksonville is to keep that fucker in the coaching spot.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to want to go to Jacksonville.
The only way I think he does not get fired is if he resigns. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he resigned, too.
Just like I think the same thing about Aaron Boone. You know what I'm saying? He's got no business being a manager in baseball. He's the manager of the Yankees for one reason and one reason only. 1993 in the 11th inning against the Boston Red Sox. He had a home run to send him to the World Series. Didn't do shit in the World Series that we lost. That's why he got the job, because he had one moment in Yankee history.
One moment.
One moment.
By the way, it was 2003, not 1993.
I'm sorry, 2003. You're right.
Yes.
But
Aaron fucking Boone. I nearly tore up my steering column that night.
Well, and here's the thing though, you know, and like I said, I'm gonna be honest, it's my favorite team, but I gotta be honest, dude. You know, they signed him immediately after the season was over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that there might have been a lot of free agents that said, no thanks, I don't want to play for that idiot? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see somebody that's, first of all, the fans don't even want there.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Some of the players don't even want him there. And then you force feed it to everybody by signing him immediately to a 3. You wait until after free agency is over with to sign
that's the
him.
Yankee.
Well, not only that, but you get they're locked out. They're locked out right now. So you don't want to
Yeah.
make any major decisions before the lockout's
No.
fixed. You know what I'm saying?
And even when
Don't
there's not
make-
a lockout,
You
that's still
don't
the
make
Yankee way.
managerial decisions until after the free agency or whatever the lockout is over with.
Yeah.
They probably could have signed some of those guys that other teams signed. I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, playing for the Yankees is cool, but playing for Aaron Boone, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'd be that way too. I mean, I know, thanks. I don't want to play for that fool. But yet people want to play for Buck Showalter in New York when he gets the job with the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
Max Scherzer is pitching for Buck Showalter to be the manager of the Mets.
Is Showalter the manager of the Mets?
Huh?
Did Showalter get the job?
No, but he's the favorite to get it.
Favorite? Okay.
For which
I
team?
haven't heard anything about it. But
The Mets.
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 Yeah, like I said, there's guys pitching him. Scherzer, there's a lot of players that are pitching Buck Showalter
Mm-hmm.
as being the best fit for the Mets.
Hell of a
And
nice
what they're
guy,
trying to
too.
Well, that's because Showalter's a disciplinarian. He don't take shit. He don't let his players get away with shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that builds character.
Yes,
Aaron
it does.
Boone, who the hell in that dugout really respects Aaron Boone? Seriously. Nobody.
Aaron
You know?
Boone would have trouble getting respect from a Little League team. Little League dugout.
He couldn't get respect in a pickup stickball game. Okay? That's how bad he is.
As a Red Sox fan, we want him to stay, though.
But I already told y'all, I'm officially on. As a matter of fact, I'm on my own lockout of the New York Yankees until they get rid of Aaron Boone.
What about Brian Cashman? You're going to get rid of him too?
That too.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact,
Cashman a long time ago.
Steinbrenner and his tight ass self needs to sell the team to somebody who really wants them to win.
Oh,
Somebody
boy.
wants to spend the money. You know what I'm saying? His father spent the money no matter what. He didn't give a shit.
Yep.
He wanted to have a quality team every time they took the field. What are they doing now? They're trying to build through the farm system. Are you kidding me? What do you do? The Florida Marlins?
Or the Tampa Rays?
Yeah, they're trying to go on low budget to win now. And you know what that's going to do? In a big city like that, shit don't fly in New York, dude. It don't. But you know what? It's a collusion of dumbasses because Steinbrenner is not going to get rid of Cashman because of whatever reason, and Boone can't say shit to any of them, so they'll keep him on because he'll be a yes man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all come down to. It's pretty sad.
See you, John. Get better, brother. Get better.
Peace, man. You get them next week. Who they playing next week?
Who?
Buffalo.
Bills?
You got that up
I
there?
don't remember.
Let me find out.
I need to check my phone. Do I still need to play the outro tonight since John's not here?
Why not? Bills are playing Carolina in Buffalo.
Oh.
Mm.
That'll be a nice.
Who's going to be the quarterback? PJ Walker? PJ Walker? Because Cam Newton can't seem to get out of the first quarter these days.
I don't like what I'm seeing.
In what?
It says mostly because my foot's feeling like it's been stabbed, so I need some drugs.
Yeah, he's got. And I don't know who else you're talking
What
about.
happened to his foot?
He's got gout.
Oh,
Oh,
gout? Oh my
gout.
God. I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had gout before. It's murder.
Yeah.
I feel for him. I was concerned it might be an Achilles tendon or something like that,
Yeah.
but gout's
And
almost bad.
the plantar fasciitis ain't no fucking thing to laugh at
No,
either.
it's
I've
not
had
either.
plantar fasciitis, and
No,
that
no,
shit
it's
is
not.
no joke. You can't step on your foot at all when you got plantar.
I had a flare up of gout when I was in London the last time. And when I was meeting a guy at a friend of mine at a pub to have a beer. And when we were walking over there, this guy comes charging off the train with a Pullman and ran over my foot that was hurting. Ouch. And my friend had to literally kind of hold me back to keep him going after that guy.
I wanted to bring this up. Ken, you had a journalistic icon pass away recently.
Yes.
Chapman, was his name?
Dave Campbell.
Dave Campbell.
He is the founder and longtime editor of what was called Dave Campbell's Texas Football. It was considered the Bible of Texas football. I mean, he covered high school, college, and pro. And he did it for both Texas and Arkansas when they were both in the Southwest Conference. And he started that magazine the year I was born, and has carried it on ever since. And up until about the last 3 or 4 years, he was still the editor of it. He was editor emeritus. I mean, I guess as he when he passed away the other day, but he has had tributes all over the state.
96 years old. He was 96.
96. I had the pleasure of meeting him about 2 or 3 times, maybe a little bit more, and absolutely fascinating. I mean, I said when I'm posted, he's forgotten more about football than I'll ever know. So my hat is,
you know a lot, Ken.
Yeah, well, my hat is off to him. I'm very, very sorry to see him go, but he lived a great life, and my hat is off to him, and we will miss him. But,
I might be picking your brain. I might be picking your brain in the future, Ken.
What's left of it would be my guess.
I try not to compromise too many cells, yo.
Yeah. See if we can have a mind meld right here.
Hey, Clarky, are they playing the Patriots after the Panthers?
Yes.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
And that could be pretty much Patriots clinching the division and the #1 record, maybe?
It's going to be Buffalo at New England on December 26th.
Are you serious? They're not showing it. Where are they not showing it because of the Miss Universe?
In Foxborough.
Oh, wow, that's terrible.
Miss Universe pageant win next weekend.
I don't know, but that sounds crazy.
By the way, Bears are up 3-0 on the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Packers are actually struggling right now.
Central New York. Yikes.
They're at home too.
That sucks. I hate all that blackout shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I hope the Patriots lose to Indy next week. They're going to Indy, so I hope they lose to Indy next week. That'll be a good game, though.
Could be a good game.
Hey, the Patriots have gone into other stadiums and taken out so-called contending teams.
They did it last week with the Bills.
True.
And they did it with the Rams too, when the Rams were actually playing well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're gonna see what the Rams are made of tomorrow night because they got to go up against Arizona.
Tell you what, man, Arizona's looking really good right now. Looking really good. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, unless you guys got something else, let's wrap it up. It's 5 minutes early, but I don't care.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Max Verstappen for winning the Formula One championship.
I heard there was some controversy in that today too.
They were. That was a crazy finish. If you haven't seen the finish on ESPN, check it out.
I'm going to try and find it. Yeah, I'll try and find it.
I think I counted 3 lead changes in the final lap.
Oh my goodness.
He was chasing it, and it was head to head, winner take all going in, and
yep.
It was one of the greatest finishes I've ever seen to our road.
Just to satisfy Pixie Post, just to satisfy Katie, Elliot's going to play the outro this week because we didn't do it last week.
We haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. So Elliot, whenever you're ready, go right ahead and play the outro because we're out.
I'm all set, dude. Here we go. It's opening. There we go. Well, there you have it, Nerds Nation. Another Sunday episode of the Sports Nerd Show in the books, and we're actually still alive to tell about it. Now, on behalf of our hosts, got the Sports Nerd right, John, Bob, and Ken, the three other lovable members of the Ramp Pack, and yes, me, Big E. The entire pack would once again like to thank you all for participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk on the web today. So until next Sunday night, dear nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for fuck's sake, please wear a fucking mask. You just got hit with a pack rant from the Ramp Pack. And with that, fellas, we are